The sun rose over the meadow, painting the grass in hues of gold as little Bunny stood proudly before the great oak. In his paws,
he gripped a heavy basket, overflowing with the most magnificent golden carrots the forest had ever seen. These were his pride,
the fruit of his secret labors. He spotted the squirrel gathering nuts nearby and couldn't resist a boast. "I am the fastest grower in all the forest," he declared, his chest puffed out with importance. The squirrel paused, looked at the basket with a flick of his tail, and said absolutely nothing. Undeterred by the silence, little Bunny marched toward the riverbank, his ears held high. He found the turtle by the water and tilted the basket so the sunlight caught the orange skin of the vegetables. "Look at my harvest, turtle. No one else has carrots this large or this perfect," he boasted. The turtle barely blinked,
turning back to his fishing line without a word. Little Bunny felt his ears twitch with a mix of confusion and frustration.
Little Bunny wanted more than just carrots. He wanted the roar of a crowd and the cheers of his neighbors.
If they wouldn't notice on their own, he would force them to see. He decided to hold a grand contest to prove once and for all that he was the best gardener in the land.
With a flourish of charcoal, he placed a large sign by the main forest path. "Fastest and best gardener," it read in bold, messy letters. He sat beside his sign, adjusting his fur and waiting for the line of admirers to form. 1 hour passed, then 2. The wind whistled through the trees, but the path remained empty. Not a single creature stopped to praise him. The silence of the forest began to feel heavy, and for the first time, little Bunny started to wonder if his golden carrots were enough to keep him company. Then, the sky turned the color of bruised plums. A heavy, relentless rain began to fall, drumming against the leaves.
The gentle river transformed into a churning brown monster, rising quickly toward the carrot patch. Panic seized little Bunny's heart. "No, not my harvest," he cried. He scrambled to the edge of the patch, desperately trying to build a small wall of dirt with his trembling paws. But the water was too fast, washing his efforts away like sugar. He tried to dig a trench to divert the flow, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The mud was deep and treacherous. His paws slipped on the slick clay, and with a soft thud, he fell into the wet soil. He looked at his beautiful carrots, now half submerged in the rising tide. His pride felt as heavy as the mud coating his fur. He sat in the rain, defeated and shivering, and let out a long, broken sigh. But then, a shadow fell over him. The turtle appeared, holding a massive, sturdy leaf over little Bunny to shield him from the downpour. Before he could speak, the squirrel joined them, clutching a small branch. Without a word of judgment, they began to dig. They worked with a rhythmic purpose, carving a path through the earth. Little Bunny wiped his eyes, grabbed his shovel, and joined them. They worked in a focused silence, 3 friends against the elements, until finally, the water began to flow away from the patch and back into the river. The carrots were saved. The clouds parted as quickly as they had arrived. Little Bunny looked at the soaked ground and then at his tired friends. He walked slowly to his basket and pulled out his 3 largest, most beautiful golden carrots. He handed the biggest one to the turtle and the second to the squirrel. He kept only the smallest,
crooked one for himself. He didn't mention his speed. He didn't talk about his fame.
He simply took a bite, feeling the crunch and the sweetness, and nodded his thanks. The 3 of them sat together in the quiet sun,
enjoying the harvest in a silence that was finally comfortable.
He realized then that the best part of growing anything wasn't being the best, it was having someone to share it with.